says okay. I think that was an Amazon mix. Hey guys, Teresa's out here working in the garden.
Part where was red clover.
No, they had all kinds of stuff. You mix your own.
All right.
So Teresa's raking the beds today. This is where we. That's the bean bed. This is where all the ground cover was. This was she was asking me about that ground cover because that was a mix. I believe I got it from Amazon. It was a good mix. And it did die over the winter pretty much and was real easy to till. I didn't show you that one, but that one's pretty much all broken down already. Where these two beds were all ryegrass. And this is the third time I'm tilling them now. After broad forking. And you could see there's still a lot of clumps in there. But that'll be good for our compost pile if they don't rot in the bed. Still have a little bit of time till we're going to plant these.
Yep.
So Teresa's just over here getting them even. And then you want to tell them what the next step is, honey?
Well, next I am going to put a layer of compost.
And that's because?
And that's, I left these beds, I haven't watered them, and the worms all went down really deep. And
So,
it's easier to till when the soil is dry.
So she's gonna put compost on to feed the worms.
Yeah, and then water the compost, and then I'm going to let them sit till it's planting time.
And how much compost do we have left?
Not much.
Not much. She has used that huge winter pile of compost I made is gone, and we are now starting on the spring. Oh, she's pointing. We haven't gone over to the orchard to show you that for a while. But these two beds here, and then we still have this covered. And I just got some more 2x6s out of our little wood shed. So we're ready to put those beds in. So I want to show you here this mulch. So you might have noticed we have three kinds of mulch going here. These are, sorry about that. This is the wood chip mulch. I should have Theresa doing this for me. And I just kicked that out of the way. So this we got from a local guy, and you can see nice how it's breaking down under there. It keeps the moisture and keeps the weeds down. So we need to add more thickness to it. And then we ran out of wood chips, so we have to get another load in here, but we're just a little busy. So we're trying to use our straw. So we put a good thick layer of straw down. Now with this, we have to watch cardboard underneath there. Can you see that cardboard? Cardboard's damp. So we just have to watch and make sure we don't get too much straw growing in the straw. So we're comparing the wood chips to the straw. And I'm going to press pause and walk you over to the potato patch because we have a third option.
Okay, we have friends next door that have horses in a stable, and they suggested we use the stable sweepings for something because we can get manure from them, but then they have a big pile of the sweepings, which is sawdust and small wood chips and manure. And since sawdust put on and mixed in directly is supposed to deplete the nitrogen from the soil, of course you could always add blood meal or nitrogen source to the soil if you do that, but we are using it for we're packing it down by walking on it, and we're using it to seal the tops, to put on top of the cardboard to seal out the weeds.
So I'm going to spin around here and show you. So around the perimeter she puts down cardboard, and then we put down the shavings, and the idea is that's going to keep the Bermuda grass for the most part out, is what we're hoping. And then, so when I compare this to the straw, I'll ask you first, to the straw and to the wood chips, which do you like the best? We got three things going.
I don't know. I like the wood chips because they're loose, any seeds that fall into it are less likely to root. But we haven't been able to get any wood chips, so this stuff is free. Of course, it takes a lot of labor to get it. But I can see there's some little weeds and stuff coming up in it over here. They don't mind that they're not getting nitrogen. See here? There's some little
Oh my gosh, they're
little
clover or something. I can't say what
probably chickweed.
Chickweed. Yeah, there it is.
Things like that.
But
And I can see it all through here.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, this is a lot softer to walk on. So
it will break down.
Yeah.
And we can plant here eventually, probably next year. Just till it up. And
Right.
in the meantime, it's holding 5 buckets of potatoes, and then it's going to get buckets of tomato plants, because why not? We've got the space, we've got the buckets.
And it's all enclosed here from the deer. So
Yeah, we've got the tomato plants.
So the sweet potatoes are going over here. So we're going to have to till that next. But we get some more of the stable sweeps and put it around the perimeter. We didn't finish it up yet. So we'll do that. But there's a nice hunks of like manure in here. So we pull them out and just throw them into the sweet potato bed. But this ground here, we'd love to do everything in 1 year. But gosh, it's so much work. As you probably just saw Theresa doing some rototilling. So this will probably by next year, it'll probably be ready to go. If not, we'll take some of it out. We won't put all this down. There's a good 4 or 5 inches here, although it's getting pressed in. But anyhow, those are the 3 different ground covers or whatever you want to call it. And we're going to compare the 2. We'll let you know like in a year from now how it made out. If that straw seeds itself and we have a whole bed of straw growing over there, then that's not going to be good. But for now, so good.
And when I think of all the cardboard I was recycling when I lived down in North Carolina, tons of cardboard, and now I'm scrounging for it.
My gosh, we pick up cardboard every day from someplace else. When I bring my van, though, we can get a whole big truckload. So right now our compost pile is just about depleted, so we need, if it was all shredded up, we need about 10 wheelbarrows full at least. And she's cutting the grass now already, so we'll be mixing it up. But the winter compost will be gone by the end of today. So we need more compost. So anyhow, that's the 3 ground covers we're using, and so we'll let you know how it works out, which one we like better a year from now. All right, this is Charlie and Theresa Garden for 2. Thanks. She just never stops. That's the end of the compost. Guys, I shoveled it into the wheelbarrow for her, try and help. And I gave her that little teeny tiny wheelbarrow instead of the big contractor wheelbarrow. But she still goes. She goes and goes. She gets it done. So that's the end of our winter compost. Lots of worms were in there. Let me show you what we did to our compost piles. I'll go around here. So the trash can she uses as she's mowing to get me lots and lots of grass. Of course, this whole thing was full of compost. It was almost waist high. Went all the way over to here. And then we turned and went all the way down to that full. This is the new pile. We just started and we're cooking pretty good, about 100. So you see the wood shavings I put on top. See some eggshell, banana peel, all kinds of stuff. Coffee grounds, a lot of coffee grounds.
A lot of orange peels.
Orange, we eat a lot of oranges. She can't waste the drop. Look, she's got to dig in there and get every last crumb.
Yeah.
To her, that's like gold.
Well, you work hard for it.
Look, she's going to dig it out of the cinder block.
Big piles.
There's a big pile in there.
Weeds don't need it.
So, what we're here in the compost pile, over here, you might notice that there's 2 sweet potatoes. Those are organic sweet potatoes. and we were counting on them to sprout, give me slips, but they just seem to want to dry up. So I'm abandoning that, and I'm going to buy slips, unfortunately. Although I do have some smaller potatoes on the windowsill in the house. Some are in a cup of water with toothpicks holding them up, and a couple are just halfway buried into the soil. So we'll see which one produces slips first and how many slips I get. So she's just digging it all. She's going to get the hard rake now and keep going. Anyhow, so that's pretty much it for those beds over there. So she'll have 3 more beds ready to plant shortly. We'll spread that compost out, and if we want to, we'll mix it in a little bit, put a little more fertilizer. You know, she might do a light fertilizer, not a heavy fertilizer. What are you thinking? Like 3-5-3, something like that? Not 10-10-10, right? No.
3-4-3, depending.
3-4-3. Yeah.
Give some bone meal to the tomatoes in their planting hole, and I'll just see what they need as they go along. The string beans don't usually need much.
No.
I did already put the gypsum in because there was still clay in the bottom of those holes, in the bottom of the beds. So trying to...
Yeah, there's still some clumps of the roots from the ground cover. Start to pull some of those out because they may or may not, melt by the time we're ready to plant.
Yeah.
Yesterday we had a different project, the rototiller. You pulled that pull cord on the top, the little red handle up there. It wasn't catching on the inside to start it, so we had to get some Allen wrenches and pop that cover off and get the recoil working. It's pretty easy. It was just needed a cleaning and some WD-40. All right, this is Charlie and Theresa Garden for 2. That's all for today.